when Joe told me about the clinic, I was honored to come back and talk, to Florida. And I guess I'll always think of myself as a Florida coach. I've been gone a year, and I learned a lot to be here by being gone, and I'll share a lot of that stuff with y'all. But, I think there was a little misconception about why I left. A lot of people come up to me in clinic and they see me and they say, yeah, I heard what happened why you left. You're mad about all the transfers and all that stuff. And that's not why I left. What happened was, and just a little background, I'm not going to give you much, but I played at Lakeland High School for Bill Castle, who's been there since 1971. He closed in on Coach Rogers on the all-time state winning record, won about 430 games. And so I played for Coach Castle, and what happened was, the superintendent where I am now, Enterprise, they've been losing, and he wanted to make a change with coaches. And so he and two other assistant superintendents drove down to Lakeland, and they met with Castle just about how to run a program. And at the end of that, they say, well, do you know anyone that could come in here and do the things that you talked about doing? And Coach Castle recommended me, and on that phone call, they met in person, and then I got a phone call, and I met with the superintendent at the Cracker Barrel in Ocala. And 3.5 hours later, pretty much I was the coach. And so it went just like that. I didn't interview, didn't apply, didn't talk to the principal, the AD, anything else. I got superintendent hired me. And it's been, in a year, it's been awesome. I got to say, it's, sometimes you take a job and you promise one thing and you get another. It hadn't been like that. It's been great. The superintendent literally comes by every day and just sits down with our coaches and just hangs out with us and, watches what we're doing, totally supportive. So it's a place where the town is totally behind what we're doing, and when we get it turned, and it's going to be hard to turn it, but when we get it turned, I think it's going to be a crazy place for football on Friday nights. The one thing that the superintendent didn't tell me was that when we jogged down the field, our team wouldn't quite look like the other teams. And when I got up there the first game, we played North Miami Beach. You guys know them. And they came in and they're a good team. Jeff had a good year this year, and they came from 19 points down to beat us in the fourth quarter. But after the game, the principal said, that's probably the worst team we'll play all year. And I'm kind of pissed off, because we blew that lead and all. And then looking back at it, that was probably the worst team we played all year. The teams up there from Phoenix City Central to Dothan to Prattville to Auburn, there's just a lot of freaking talent in our region. So it's a tough place to win, but again, I think that makes you a better coach because you got to figure out different things to do. And that's really what I want to talk about the first couple minutes of my talk is I was hunting last weekend in North Alabama, and when you're sitting in a tree stand, literally it's 24 degrees. And then I was driving back, and I was just thinking, I don't want to jump in my talk and just say, here's how we block power. I thought, let's talk about a little bit about how we got here and what I believe in. And so I literally just started, typing up on my phone what I call the 10 Commandments of offense. Now again, I didn't get this from anyone else. This is what I believe in. So it's not like, the Urban Meyer's 10 Commandments of offense. This is stuff that came to my mind as I was driving back literally last weekend. Okay, so the first thing is, and again, a lot of people, when they hear my name, they probably think, yeah, that's in the winning. Well, the thing is, I've run a lot of different stuff. And when I first started coaching, when I was at Eustis, we ran the wing team and had some success, and I went to Apopka, and I thought that we were going to be an I formation team. So I thought that Apopka had crazy talent. And we can do whatever we wanted. I wanted to run the I and run the option like Nebraska, which is still, to me, my all-time favorite offense. Well, that lasted about a kickoff classic, and then we ended up in the wing tee, and then we ended up in the wishbone. This is all in 1 year, okay? And we mixed stuff up, and so the second year, we kind of found the flex bone. We took out the wing tee trap and the buck sweep and put in the veer and the midline, the rocky toss. We won a state championship doing that. And then I got the job in Valdosta, and I went up there, and I'm thinking, okay, well, I've got my offense now. We're going to run the flex bone, have some wing tee influence in it. So went up there. Well, sure enough, we started off 1-3. And I think I don't want to get fired before my first year's over. And so I went back to Lakeland and I watched what Coach Castle was doing. He was running the same option concept we were, but from the I formation. And I was scared of the I. I thought, you got to be better than everyone else up front to run the I. And we had a decent line, but they weren't overly big. Well, we put in an I option package with a shotgun package. We had a quarterback that was 5'5". And we put this in week 4, okay? And we were 1-3, and we ended up winning 10 in a row, and we went to the state finals as we switched offenses right in the middle of the year. Well, then the next 2 years, we were kind of more of a spread team. Think like Urban Meyer when he was at Utah. We ran that, and then I got fired, and I came back to Apopka and tried to run some of the spread concepts, tried to run some flex bone, and ended up the second year in the single win. And the point is, I heard this quote. It was Alan Trimble from Jenks High School. He said that, and I've always thought, man, that's smart. Don't be married to a system, be married to winning. I've never kept the same offense the second year of school. I've always gone in thinking I'm going to be one thing, and then it's not just what your players can do, it's who you play. You might be the best spread coach in the world, but if there's 5 teams on your schedule that are freaking great at defending the spread, you might want to find something else to do. And so I've always said this, as I've said, if you can't be better, you have to be different. And so I've changed gears in the season, my last 3 jobs. I've only had 4. But I've changed gears mid-season and changed. We were sitting here this year, we were 2-5. Okay, and we had an open week. I mean, we're right there teetering on the whole thing. It was hard. That's a whole different talk. We've had to turn around a losing program. I never had to really do that. When I got to Apopka, they'd been losing a little bit, but not like I am. I'm the place I am now. And that thing could have collapsed. And I went in there with our coaches, and I said, we're gonna change up what we do. And this is one thing. Better be good at several things and great at one. It says only a stupid mouse has one hole. That's kind of the thing Castle never said that, but when you watch Lakeland play, you don't know what you're going to get. You're going to see double slot, you're going to see I, you're going to see power I, you're going to see double tight one back, you're going to see the shotgun, you're going to see everything. Because when a college coach goes into the office at Lakeland High School, Coach Castle says, show me what you do good. The man's 74 years old, but he wants to know what you do good. You might be a 25-year-old college assistant coach, okay, from nowhere, and he's going to get you up on the board to teach him, okay, who knows football more football than all of us combined, okay, what you do. So again, Coach Castle always had an answer. And so what we did is we changed gears right there in mid-season after 7 games. I said, okay, we're going to run a lot more bootleg passes. Okay, we're going to run the option. We're going to run the trap. We're going to run the belly G. Stuff these kids have never done. My coaches have never coached. And I didn't give it out. I go, this is what we're going to do. Okay, this is the standard. This is where we're going to go with it. And we got in there, and we were playing Robert E. Lee, Montgomery, and they were state semifinals the previous year. We were down 21-7 at the half. Somehow we came back and won that game. And that was a game that kind of swung the whole thing. The kids started to say, wow, we beat someone we're not supposed to beat. Then we upset another team, and then the last game of the year, we went down and we played a team called Theodore High School in Mobile. And they were as good looking as any Miami team I've ever seen. And we're down 27-7, and we won the game. There were 6 minutes left. We're down 27-7, and somehow we won. I still don't know how we won, but we won the game, and that got us in the playoffs. And then we had the number 1 team in the state on the ropes in the 4th quarter. We let it go. But I think those things together are important. Don't be married to a system. Be married to winning, and better be good at a few things and great at one. Because the thing is, if you're great at one thing and people stop it, then what do? Okay? The year we set the state scoring record, we got in there and we played South Dade in the finals, and they were very underrated. And they kind of shut us down, and sometimes I'm wishing, man, I wish I could do some different stuff. The previous year, we were much different offensively. We were in a lot of spread, read stuff with a quarterback that could do that, and had a single wing package. And, that was a year that we felt we had more answers. Okay, now, yesterday, one thing I've always loved about Joey is he's always going somewhere and visiting and learning from people. And I agree with that. I want to learn ball. I'm sitting there last night listening to Daryl Sutherland talking about his RPO and his screens and all that stuff. he comes up, I mean, that's some really good stuff. I really like that. And he's got to laugh like, yeah, you're not going to run that. I'm like, yeah, I might. You know, I mean, always be learning ball. You know, this is what we do as a career, so it's serious, but it's also probably our hobby too.